Creative Festival is underway this weekend at the International Center, and this is about the Creative Festival, but we're in a thrift store. Shannon Okey joins me, and how do we put together the Bibles for Missions thrift store and the Creative Festival?
Well, I do a lot of recycling of old sweaters and pieces like that. Some of the pieces I brought here today were made out of old sweaters. There's this jacket, which was made out of multiple, not only vintage buttons, but also old sweaters.
So actually, if we take a really close look, you can see
you can actually see the edges
panels of different sweaters.
Yeah, and this hooded jacket originally was calf length before I shrank it. And I did what's called shibori felting, or shaped felting, on the back using orange juice lids. So basically you do it like tie-dye. You wrap it very tightly, you shrink the rest of the sweater, and then the other puffs remain up. So this is something that I do with, pieces of old sweaters. You can also take old sweaters, this one would be a good example, and unravel them for the wool.
Oh, so you're finding sweaters that you like the color or whatever, but the style's not doing
it for you. And so this one, for example, it's a good example because it's in easily unravelable pieces. So you can take these pieces apart, zigzag out all the wool, wrap it around something, get it wet, and it's just like having brand new wool all over again.
Wow. Now, how did you get started doing this? What got you inspired?
Well, my parents. My parents are both artists. My mother is cheap. Is that is that polite to say? She's thrifty. And so we always went to thrift stores growing up, to find those, little treasures. And I started, doing things like this because, well, number one, it's unlike anything else that you're going to find at the store. Number two, you never know what you're going to find.
That's true.
And number three, it gives you a nice creative springboard to do your own thing.
That's kind of neat. And so you've been doing this for years now.
Yeah.
And you must have quite a collection of things that you've put together.
I do. But when you write books like I do, for example, this one was in my book Felt Frenzy. A lot of times you don't actually have them in your hands because the publishers have them or the photographers have them. So I keep having to make new ones.
That's neat. Now you do the felting. We mentioned felting. For people who are watching who are going, okay,
what's felting?
That? Yeah.
That's what you do when you shrink the sweater, except instead of doing it accidentally, you're doing it on purpose.
Right. A lot of us have done it by mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're taking something that's a knit and essentially turning it into
a solid fabric where, you can't see through it. Your regular normal sweater, if you stretched it, you could see right through it.
Of course.
Basically, what this is doing is, if you look at human hair close up, for example, those shampoo commercials, you see all the little blades coming off the side of the shaft. Well, it's like Velcro, really. So when you get it hot in the washer and then get it cold all of a sudden, they lock down. They lock down, and that's why you can't unshrink them once you've shrunk them.
Well, yeah, there's no going back. But it's an interesting texture, and it's an actual whole new fabric.
It's a whole new fabric. And you can cut it. You can cut it just like sewn fabric, except it won't unravel because all those little things are locked together.
Now this is, if you're going to try felting, it's only actual wool that's going to do this.
Wool or a high percentage of wool, up to at least 50%, most people will say. It varies sweater by sweater, but animal fiber of some kind, whether it's wool, alpaca, any animal like that.
Right. And you've mentioned now that you are an author. You have some books. What sort of books have you put together?
Mostly knitting and craft, fiber arts related crafts. So just like the Creative Festival, pretty much everything they're doing: crochet, knitting, felting, spinning.
And you are on hand this weekend
to sign books.
Sign books.
And I'll have a booth there at the Creative Festival.
So if anyone either wants to try it or has tried, has questions,
they can come on down.
That's fantastic. And also, is there any way people can get in touch with you otherwise?
Yes, my website, which is knitgirl.com, knitgrrl.com.
Right. Well, I look forward to spending some time with you this weekend at the festival. It's at the International Center right through Sunday. For more information, you can go to creativefestival.ca or visit our website, reallifeoncts.com. And what do you say we look for some materials?
I think that's a good plan.
That sounds good. I like that one.